Silent, shoulder-borne, and devastatingly accurate, the FGM-148 Javelin changed anti-tank warfare. Designed as a true fire-and-forget missile, the Javelin lets a single soldier lock a target, fire, and move before the round even reaches its mark. Today, we'll explore its origins, how the launcher works, the missile's two-stage propulsion and top attack profile, and the upgrades that keep it lethal on modern battlefields. The Javelin began as a response to a clear requirement. In 1983, the U.S. Army launched the AAWSM, the Advanced Anti-Tank Weapon System Medium, to replace the aging M47 Dragon. Army planners wanted a missile that was longer-ranged, more lethal, and most importantly, fire and forget, a system that liberated the operator from having to steer the missile after launch. After a competitive process, Texas Instruments won the contract in 1988. Production began in 1989, with operational service beginning in the mid-1990s. Over time, Martin Marietta, later Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon became primary contractors, refining the weapon into the system that soldiers know today. The heart of the Javelin system is not the missile alone, but the Command Launch Unit, the CLU, a reusable, tripod-capable device that the soldier uses to detect, identify, and lock targets. The original CLU offers multiple viewing modes: DFOV, Day Field of View, a 4x telescopic day-white sight; WFOV, Wide Field of View, a 4x thermo mode used for search and situational awareness, with internal cooling to enhance thermal sensitivity; NFOV, Narrow Field of View, a 12x thermal mode for precision aiming at long range. When the operator has the target framed, a dedicated seeker FOV, typically at 9x thermal lock, engages. The CLU transmits the target signature to the missile and the lock is stored. From that moment, the operator can fire and immediately relocate, the classic fire and forget capability. The CLU can also be used independently as a portable thermal observation device, detached from the launch tube for reconnaissance or surveillance. In recent years, the Army and Marines adopted the lightweight CLU to reduce soldier load and add modern features. The LWCLU is roughly 70% smaller and 40% lighter than the original unit. It includes improved battery life, about 40% longer endurance, better image processing and a 5-megapixel camera, a laser designator, rangefinder, and heading sensor to account for target movement, redesigned controls for faster operation in combat. The LWCLU electronics are even compatible with other air defense systems, such as the FIM-92 Stinger, enabling engagement of aircraft and drones when required. Price-wise, the LWCLU is a high-end piece of equipment, around $418,000 per unit, 2022 figures, compared with roughly $249,000 for the original CLU. Safety for the operator was a central design focus, and that's where the Javelin's soft launch stands out. The missile uses two propulsion stages. Launch motor, a short, low-impulse booster that ejects the missile out of the tube without producing a backblast capable of harming the shooter. Sustain motor, a turbofan or solid rocket second stage that ignites a few meters away and drives the missile toward the target. This two-stage approach allows soldiers to fire from confined positions, trenches, building doorways, even light shelters, without exposing themselves to lethal backblast. There's an operational caveat. The launch motor uses a propellant that generates toxic particulates, including lead oxides, meaning crews are trained to hold their breath during ignition and to follow strict handling protocols. In the rare instance that the launch motor fails to eject the missile, an internal safety mechanism will vent or expel the motor from the tube to prevent catastrophic pressure buildup. The Javelin offers two distinct flight profiles tailored to the target: direct attack and top attack. Direct attack is a flatter trajectory used against structures, light vehicles, or when a steep terminal angle is not available. The missile climbs modestly, up to about 60 meters, then descends on a shallow intercept path, good for urban targets and buildings. Top attack is the Javelin's trademark. The missile climbs to roughly 160 meters and then dives steeply onto the target's roof, the least armored section of a modern main battle tank. This vertical or semi-vertical terminal strike dramatically increases the chance of a catastrophic kill even against heavily armored opponents. Modern tanks use explosive reactive armor, ERA, to defeat shaped charges. To defeat ERA, the Javelin uses a tandem heat warhead, 2 charges in series. The forward precursor charge is smaller and detonates the ERA tile. The main follow-through charge then punches through the now exposed underlying armor. This tandem arrangement neutralizes the reactive countermeasures and allows the missile to penetrate conventional and composite armor. The effectiveness of the tandem heat remains one of the primary reasons the Javelin is so feared by armored forces worldwide. Recent upgrades introduced the MPWH, the multi-purpose warhead, fielded as the FGM-148F. The MPWH preserves anti-tank lethality while greatly improving fragmentation effects on soft targets, light vehicles, bunkers, and infantry. According to service assessments, the MPWH roughly doubles the effectiveness of the Javelin against non-armored targets, making the system far more versatile across modern combat scenarios. Tactically, the Javelin reshaped infantry anti-armor doctrine. Small teams can now defeat armored formations without exposing themselves to direct enemy fire or guiding the missile. The change is profound. Infantry become credible tank killers, shifting the calculus of combined arms warfare. Because the Javelin is fire and forget, crews can reposition immediately after firing, reducing their risk of counter-battery or return fire, a key survival trait in high-intensity engagements. From the AAWSM program of the 1980s to today's LWCLU and MPWH upgrades, the FGM-148 Javelin has evolved into one of the most capable and flexible anti-armor weapons on the planet. Its combination of soft launch safety, tandem warhead, and top attack profile has forced armored forces to rethink protection, tactics, and logistics. The Javelin is not just a missile, it's a doctrinal shift. For infantry, it offers decisive lethality. For armored units, it represents a persistent, portable, and lethal threat. If you found this video useful, hit like, subscribe to Military Power TV, and ring the bell. Drop a comment below. Which weapon would you like us to analyze next?
All right, hero. All right, fire when you're ready. Firing. Oh, there you go. Good. Fire in the hole, fire in the hole, fire in the hole! There's the hit.